Right now, as you watch this, your brain is lying to you. Not a small lie, not a white lie. A fundamental, architectural deception so complete that you have never, not once in your entire life, experienced the world as it actually is. You think you see reality. You think the room around you looks the way it looks. You think color exists. That silence is real. That time moves forward. None of that is true. And the worst part? Your brain isn't broken. It's doing this on purpose. Let's start with something simple. Look at any object near you, a wall, a cup, your hand. You believe you're seeing it in real time, right? You believe light is bouncing off that surface, entering your eyes, and painting a perfect picture inside your skull. That's not what's happening. What's actually happening is this: a tiny fraction of electromagnetic radiation, roughly 0.0035% of the full spectrum, is hitting your retina. Your brain takes that sliver of information, fills in the rest from memory, expectation, and assumption, and presents you with a hallucination that is just stable enough to keep you alive. You are not seeing the world. You are seeing a story your brain wrote about the world, and that story leaves almost everything out. Consider what you're not seeing right now. Radio waves are passing through your body. Infrared radiation is radiating off your skin. Ultraviolet light is flooding through the window. X-rays from distant cosmic events are piercing through the walls, through your chest, through your skull, and you feel nothing. If you could suddenly perceive the full electromagnetic spectrum, the room you're sitting in would be unrecognizable. It wouldn't just look different, it would look alien. Walls would glow. The air would shimmer with data. Your own body would be a furnace of light you've never seen. You've been living inside a tiny keyhole, staring through it your entire life and mistaking that narrow beam for the whole room. But that's not the disturbing part. The disturbing part is how your brain decides what to show you. Every single second, your senses are bombarded with approximately 11 million bits of information. Your conscious mind processes about 50. 50. That means 99.9995% of incoming reality is deleted before you ever become aware of it. Not stored somewhere in the background. Not saved for later. Deleted. Gone. As if it never existed. And the selection process? It's not random. Your brain has an agenda. It prioritizes threats, rewards, patterns that match what it already believes. It literally ignores information that contradicts your existing worldview. Neuroscientists call this predictive processing. Your brain doesn't wait to see what's out there. It predicts what should be out there, projects that prediction onto your experience, and only pays attention when something violates the forecast. You're not observing reality, you're running a simulation and calling it real, because it's not just the external world your brain is fabricating. It's you, that feeling you have right now, that there is a you behind your eyes, watching, listening, existing as a single continuous entity. That is a construction too. A narrative your brain assembles from scattered neural activity and stitches together with the thread of memory. There is no unified self sitting in your skull. Brain scans show that the sense of being a coherent person emerges from dozens of disconnected regions, firing in rough coordination. Damage one region and your personality changes. Damage another and you lose the ability to recognize your own face. Damage a third and you become convinced your left arm belongs to someone else. The you that you think you are is not a thing. It's a process, a story your brain tells itself to make sense of chaos. And that story can be rewritten at any time. But that wasn't the worst part. The worst part is that everyone around you is trapped in their own private hallucination too, and we've all collectively agreed to call it the world. Think about color. You've been told your entire life that the sky is blue, but blue doesn't exist out there. There is no blue floating in the atmosphere. There are electromagnetic waves oscillating at around 450 nanometers, and your brain, in a feat of pure invention, assigns the experience of blue to that frequency. A mantis shrimp has 16 types of color receptors. You have 3. That means there are entire dimensions of color, vast, sprawling continents of visual experience that exist right in front of you, right now, that you will never see. Not because they're hidden, because your hardware can't render them. And it's not just vision. You can't hear the ultrasonic conversations of bats. You can't feel the magnetic field of the earth the way a sea turtle can. You can't sense the electrical fields that a shark uses to hunt in total darkness. Every animal on this planet lives inside a completely different sensory universe. The German biologist Jakob von Uexküll called it the Umwelt, each creature's private sensory bubble. The tick lives in a world of temperature and butyric acid. The bat lives in a world of echoes. The electric eel lives in a world of voltage. And you? You live in a world of light, sound, and story. None of them are the real world. They're all just interfaces. And this is the part almost nobody talks about. If your brain is a filter, and a brutally aggressive one, then every belief you hold, every opinion you defend, every memory you treasure, has been pre-screened by a system you have no conscious access to. Your political views, shaped by which information your brain allowed through. Your taste in people, filtered by pattern-matching algorithms you didn't choose. Your sense of what's normal, a statistical average computed from an already censored data set. You've never had an unfiltered thought, not one. Every argument you've ever had with another person was two competing hallucinations clashing, and neither party aware they weren't arguing about reality. They were arguing about which simulation was better. This isn't really about neuroscience, it's about humility. Because once you understand that your experience of reality is a controlled hallucination, curated, compressed, and distorted by a 3-pound organ that evolved for survival, not for truth, something shifts. The certainty starts to crack. The arrogance of "I know what I saw" starts to feel absurd. The confidence of "I'm right and you're wrong" starts to dissolve. The solid ground you've been standing on your whole life reveals itself as a thin crust over an ocean of everything you were never allowed to perceive. And maybe that's the most unsettling realization of all. Not that reality is hidden from you. You could probably live with that, but that you were designed not to notice. Your brain didn't just build a cage around your perception. It built a cage that feels like freedom. A prison that looks exactly like the whole world. A wall painted to look like a horizon. And the lock? The lock isn't on the outside. It's the comfortable feeling that you already understand everything you need to. So the next time you look around a room and feel certain, absolutely certain, that you know what's there, remember, you're not seeing what's there. You're seeing what you've been allowed to see. And the distance between those two things is almost everything.